Hello, welcome to my live. I was walking on the beach and it's rainy season at the moment, and it looked like there was some heavy clouds coming. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna come home and go live instead. Pull some cards out for you all. So if you're on here live with me, tell me where you are, where you're watching from. And if you've got a question for a reading, let's get some cards out. I'm going to pull some cards out for the general collective first of all. So let's see what we've got, because the cards already come out. Where are you watching from? Let me know. You are going to need to be a subscriber to be able to chat. So just click that subscribe button and then wait a minute if you're new here. I've got the Six of Cups. This is really interesting because I did 3 video readings yesterday, which are up there for members. Hey Bonnie, how are you? Yeah, I did 3 readings. So members of my channel, you can get them already. But the next, so there's going to be 3 readings, 3 tarot readings on my YouTube channel every week now. Decided to just break it up because now I've got a different format on my table with the camera looking down at it. There's not so much space for the cards, right? And so I thought I'd do 3 readings instead. So a general reading, a love and relationship reading, and a career and money reading. And so I shot those yesterday. They're uploaded. Members of my YouTube channel can have access to them already. Everyone else has to wait for them to come out in the next few days. Hey, Barbara. Bonnie's good. That's good, Bonnie. Well, we've got the Six of Cups out first. And yeah, that's the reason I'm telling you about those readings that I've put up, is that this came out. This came out in one of them because we're kind of going back to reclaiming old human traditions that we lost in a capitalist, throwaway, consumer culture, which cannot go on, right? It's messing the planet up, all of the junk, all of the plastic, all of that stuff. So we want to look back at our old human ways that worked for us. We're not talking about regression here. We're talking about picking back up those things that worked, right? Remember, if you're as old as me, hey, hello, Kim from Pittsburgh. Yeah, if you're as old as me, I'm 54. Or older, looking back, I remember when things used to last. You used to be able to, like the appliances that we had, they were just like forever, weren't they? Like, you remember, don't you? Your parents' fridge and the washing machine and all of that kind of thing, it was like solid. And there was repair people would come back round and repair them. And not just that, but we were growing things too. Don't know about your family, but we were growing. We had at the back, like it was like half garden, like recreational garden, and then half growing stuff, or perhaps even more than that, more than half. Growing fruits and vegetables. We had a fruit cage. We had like a greenhouse thing as well. It would start plants off before they went out. And on top of that, we also had an allotment too. That's like a plot of land in a field that was divided up amongst a lot of people, and would grow even more stuff there too. They work 40 years later, right? Yeah. And so we're going to have to go back to, like, we understand, right, why that's not the case anymore, because people just want a profit. It's all about profit. And so you don't get a profit if you make something that lasts 40 years. You make a profit if something lasts for 1 year or 2 years, right? So getting back to that, it's really interesting because this morning I went to go and try and find Flossie Cat. So it's been a week now since I moved. It was last week, that Flossie Cat ran away. And I'd still got the cat box from my old place that I borrowed, and a towel that I borrowed as well. So I wanted to give them back. And so I rode one-handed on my bicycle, carrying this big cat box early this morning, back to my old place to drop that stuff off. And I had a look around and she wasn't there, Flossie Cat. But on my way out, I went past, I used to get these greens off, it's called Mexican kale or dinosaur kale, these bushes. And so it's these, there's one outside now, but these big leaves, and it's like kale leaves, and you just pick them off one at a time, and you can put them in your wraps and stuff like that. It's like dark leafy green. Nice. It's nicer than kale, I'd say. Anyway, I wanted one of these plants. I told my landlady when I moved in, I'm like, want one of those plants, so I'll bring it. And she said, yeah, no problem. And so I plucked one of them. I bet there's a baby one next to the big bush out there. And so I plucked it out the ground and I planted it here. So every time I see a baby one under a big one, I'm going to pluck it out and plant it here. And I've noticed that the gardener is such a sweet guy. He's got no English apart from hello, how are you? And good, thank you. But we get by. And I've noticed, he's just tilled like 3 patches here on the garden in front of mine. And so I'm going to be growing stuff here. So that's cool. Got a little bit of farm. But yeah, bringing stuff back from the past that worked for us, that made things easy, and getting away from stuff. That's what came out in the reading. Let's get some more cards out. Kim, your mum still had a fridge and upright freezer from the 60s. Oh, I lost them in the flood. Yeah. You see, things were made to last. Now things are made to break because they want you to buy another one. You know, it's just so, isn't it? It's just so, it's like my work. If I'm doing my work properly, my head's off, not on straight. If I'm doing my work properly, I am reinforcing that you've got your guidance inside of yourself. I'm confirming what you already know so that you can tune in yourself. Oh. We've got the devil here. The devil is about fears too. So, 6 of Cups. Bringing things back from the past that worked for us. And it's kind of fun too doing that stuff. I've been collecting water as well because it's rainy season. I've been collecting water. Runs off the roof. Fill a bucket up in the bathroom. And the bucket that's on the step that fills up from the roof, I've got a scoop in there and I wash my feet off when I get home from the sand and stuff like that. I water the plants with it. I do the washing up with it. And then I fill the bathroom bucket up with it and I shower in it. I scoop it up and then pour it over myself to shower. It's nice. There's something really satisfying about doing that kind of stuff, growing your own stuff and collecting your water to use and things like that. But the fears come up. The fears of like, what if we don't know? What if suddenly we don't have access to these throwaway things that we've had access to, or the food that's come so easily, that's not good for us. But what if we don't have access to that anymore? What if we've forgotten what to do? What if we didn't get the stories or those skills off our grandparents and parents? Like, what if we become too complacent? What if we just don't know what to do and we can't handle it? Can't handle life as a human being anymore? Well, the answer to that is we tune in. We can sit in meditation and ask any kind of question, like, what is this plant about? You know, and sit in meditation and we will get from the collective consciousness the answer. And so it's not like the information is lost because it can be found, we can tune in. And that is what's amazing about our human bodies. We think that outside technology that man has made is good. It's not. It's nothing compared to our human bodies. Think about it, our human body is a biological thing that repairs itself. Not only that, but it adapts to any environment that it's in. Like, if you start lifting up heavy things, it's going to adapt and it's going to get stronger. If you start running, you're going to get faster. It's adaptable to any environment that we're in. It's incredible. But not just that, it connects us in with source energy too. We can go within and we can connect. But not just that, we've got a guidance system, we've got emotional guidance system. This body, it has so much technology. It is beyond anything that man has made. It's incredible. And we can trust that. We can trust ourselves more than we can trust any external things, for sure. So, with that message for the collective, who would like some cards pulling out for you personally? If you've got a question, let me know. And you know, I always have my 1-question readings available on my website, behealing.com. If you're new here, you'll have to click that subscribe button before you, and then wait a minute before you can comment. So click that subscribe button and comment. Bonnie, let's get you some cards out too. And I'm also offering Zoom sessions now. I'm doing one this afternoon. So you can book me 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 45 minutes for readings, energy healings, that kind of thing. Just a session with me and we'll get through a lot in those times. You can find that on behealing.com. In this age of AI and bots everywhere and, you know, non-human things vying for our attention, which has low energy compared to human stuff, felt it important to have that human interaction, that one-on-one human interaction, so that you know that I'm a real being and not just a bot. It's frustrating when I'm online and then I find that I'm having a conversation with a bot. Like, what am I doing? It's not even human. Okay, Bonnie, you have the Four of Wands, the card of marriage, the card of stability, the card of firm foundations. The reason it's the card of marriage and stability is because it's the card of firm foundations. 4 wands. It's like the legs of a table. 3-legged tables, they are not stable. They'll tip. But 4 legs, very strong, very stable. This is talking about building things slowly from the ground up so that they'll last. It's foundations. And then we've got justice, to get what it is that you deserve. And so this is saying, Bonnie, to slow things down and take things step by step so that you do build those firm foundations. That's another part of this throwaway consumer society that we've had too, is the instant gratification thing. And it makes us believe that we can have that in life, instant gratification. We just manifest things instantly and have exactly what we want without doing the work of getting ourselves there. If we're talking about a business, you know, you need to build that up and change with the times as well. If we're talking about relationships, you need to really get to know somebody slowly in lots of different circumstances and situations. So slow it down, because your justice will come through that. The justice isn't just delivered, you know. I used to think that, especially about relationships, I used to think that, like, my match will just kind of come in and then I'll be able to have an instant relationship with them because they'll be the right one for me. I don't believe that anymore. I believe that everything is built by us, both with our consciousness and with our actions and with our time and our efforts and our energy put into it. Anyone else want a reading? Barbara? Kim? You still here? Would you like me to pull some cards for you? Let me know. And anyone else that's here, say hello. Where you're watching from. You'll need to be a subscriber to chat publicly. Is what it says down there. I'm loving my new space. Kim, let's get some cards out for you then. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving this new space. I hardly ever have to have the air conditioning on because it's a cool room. Sometimes if the sun is beating down on this place between 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll need to put the aircon on for a short time, and that's it. I've been sleeping without the aircon on. It is so nice to have. The kitchen isn't. The kitchen is hot. And so whenever I'm in the kitchen, I have to open the door, and there's 2 windows there with mosquito screens on them, and I have those open all the time. But yeah, it's hot in there. So whenever I'm in there, I open the door. But this room, it's cool. I like it. And I'm in my patterns of collecting water, and it's a nice life. And I'm in amongst it here, you know, a very short ride into the town here, shorter than where I was before. And so I can be working, shooting my videos and go, I'm hungry. And then 2 minutes later, I'm in town eating. Yesterday it was stewed pork and rice with greens and pickled like green stuff. And okay, Kim. Chatting while I'm shuffling. Kim, first card out. You have the Judgment card. The Judgment is a calling. You're being called to do something. This is when the universe says, Kim, please step up. You've got a job to do. Queen of Swords. Okay, up until now, Kim, you've been gaining clarity. You see, she's sat way up high and she's got a telescope there. She's got clarity because of what she's been through. She's in this higher place now so that she can see a bigger picture. The things that you've been through in your life have been preparing you for this calling that you've got, this Judgment card, to give you the information that you needed, the experience that you needed in order to see from a higher perspective, the bigger picture. And from that place, you you've got a job to do. Now, that job might not be apparent. I just told you all that I've created 3 readings that members have already got access to. Members of my YouTube channel here, but they will be going out in the next few days. One of them is a career and money reading, and it was very interesting. I'm so glad that I've decided to do a career and money reading, because the guides were talking about what is coming and the divine feminine traits. There's a gardener. The divine feminine traits coming out and being needed in the physical world. New technologies that are connected to our consciousness, that kind of thing that women are going to be adept at, because we have been developing that side of ourselves. So it's a very exciting time. So the reason I'm saying that, Kim, is that what you're here to do, you've been developing the skills and the clarity in order to do it. The world is going to change. It is changing right now. But the next 2 years specifically, this year and the next 2 years, are going to change so much. And so just as we've seen in the last few years, last 10 years, that new jobs are available that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, didn't even exist, we're going to see that same thing again. And this is not like for the young people. This is something that the older, wiser ones will be able to, that will be needed, especially the feminine stuff. So exciting time. So if you're feeling cold, Kim, that's why. And yeah, it might not be clear to you yet. Anyone else? Barbara, you still here? Barbara, anyone else here wanting some cards pulled out? Shall I get myself some cards out? Oh, got my coffee. Okay, what about me? What do I need to know? Let me get myself 2 cards out. You're welcome, Kim. So yeah, Divine Feminine is going to be valued much more. Of course, we need to find that within ourselves first, valuing ourselves for the feminine, not valuing ourselves for the masculine. We've been there, we've done that, right? That's what we've been doing the whole time. It's like, okay, the men say, if you want equality, then be a man then. It's like, okay, and we did it, didn't we? And we valued ourselves like that. It's like, okay, I can do it all, but I don't like this. But now we've got to value ourselves as the feminine, purely as the feminine, in a world that doesn't yet value it, but we've got to do that first. So for me, 9 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. Why have I got bad cards? There's a battle. I know there is at the moment. I'm doing so much personal healing work at the moment on anxiety, specifically on anxiety, but also this internal fight, this internal battle that I've got here. I've got blocks in place still, and it's annoying me, and I've got to get to the bottom of it. I do. 9 of Wands is coming to the end of a healing journey. I've been healing myself forever. I feel like the most of my healing stuff has been done when I was 47. But yeah, there's definitely still more coming up at the moment for me. Happy days. Oh, it's how I help everyone else. That's why my business is called Be Healing, because I had to do it for myself first, and then I help everyone else with it, with the tools that work for me. So I'd love to read for you all again. If you go to my website, behealing.com, you can book yourself in. My Zoom calls in particular, I used to do breakthrough sessions, like 1.5-hour sessions on Skype, but that's not around anymore. Lately I've been doing them on Zoom when people have booked in for those, but I just wanted to make like my regular readings and energy healings available by Zoom, for that human contact thing. What do you think? Would you prefer that way, Bonnie, or do you like my written readings? My written readings will still be available. I just feel like we're called now to connect. Now, why did I disconnect? Let's get some more cards out for the collective and see what the guys want to say. For us all. Strength. That's a little bit scary, isn't it? When we're told that we need to be strong, it's like, by the universe, oh no, what's coming? Why do I need to be strong? I'm kind of sick of being the strong one. Gardener's an absolute darling. You like both? Yeah, talking is good, and it helps us. That's why the breakthrough sessions that I've always done have been more powerful, because that instant feedback that we get when we're one-on-one, we can just go deeper, you know, and do a combination of the energy healing and the reading, which I kind of do in the written stuff as well. But when you're there directly giving feedback, it's yeah, it's powerful. Okay, so why do we need to be strong? Four of Pentacles, this is holding our energy back. Interesting. So you know how I said we need to value ourselves in the feminine more? This is saying we've got to be stronger in our no. We've got to be stronger in like, no, I'm not playing, I'm not doing that. Especially with the control structures. No, I'm not going to fill that form in and jump through those hoops and that red tape, because you guys, you're on the way out. They're on the way out. We don't need to conform to that stuff anymore. That's what it's talking about, and be strong in that. So rather than trying to transition into the new, you know how we want to do that. We want to do that, right? A relationship, rather than break up a relationship, we want the next one to be available so we smoothly transition. Same with work, you know. Instead of like quitting our job, having some space, the void, and then going into the new, we want to just like get a new job lined up and then transition smoothly to it. But the way of the universe isn't that. It is the ending something, letting something go, quitting something, and then the void. And in the void is where we face ourselves. This is the uncomfortable part of it. Where we face ourselves like we move in here. It was horrible. Like it was scary. That was the scariest void ever, because I didn't even have money to do anything. There was no backup for me at all. Universe came through. But yeah, that void can be really scary, but we've got to be strong in that. So instead of trying to value the feminine while still doing the masculine things, but value the feminine so that we can easily transition into the feminine, this is saying, no, you've got to be strong and stand in your feminine and say, no, I ain't doing that masculine stuff anymore, or the control stuff, or whatever it is. That's what this means. Strength and Four of Pentacles, standing strong in what we're not doing anymore. Not playing. It's a little bit easier for me to do that because I live on a little tropical island here. It's easier for me to opt out. Everyone's dressed up this morning. I don't know what's going on. I was walking along the beach, and when I got to the end of the beach, there's King Rama, a statue of him, and they have like ceremonies there sometimes. It was full of flowers today and people in uniforms. There was some police in their is it khaki? It's like deep green colour uniforms, and all the ladies in their sarongs and stuff like that. And then a load of guys in their white, is it army? I don't know, government or army uniforms, looking very fancy. And when I was riding back, there was some guys that I know all dressed up in their white uniforms riding past me with big grins on their faces. They love getting dressed up in that stuff. It must make them feel really good. It does look really good. I mean, those white uniforms, beautiful. So I don't know what that's about. But my point being, living here in Thailand on a little island, it helps. It helps because I don't have to conform to a lot of the BS that's out there in the Western world. I've taken to doing my readings in the dark like this rather than putting the overhead lights on, because I kind of like it. I kind of like this room is dark. I've got blackout curtains, but it's just, there's only one window there. It's beautiful at night because it's just so dark, apart from the LED that's on that TV, and I know how to switch the TV off, but it's always got that LED, and it's not plugged into a socket unless there's one behind it. I don't know. That LED is bright on that TV. But yeah, it kind of feels cozy. And you know what else? I've got a comforter. There's a sheet on top of it. I don't have a cover for it, so I bought some white covers, comforter covers, like duvet covers. They should be arriving soon. But on my app where I purchase things to get sent to me here, the shop, sometimes when I buy on that, it's like an Amazon but for Asia. It's called Lazada. And sometimes when you buy things, it says add this on for another like 10 baht, which is really cheap, like 50 cents or something like that. Stock that they want to get rid of or something like that. Well, you know what it added on, right? What it wanted me to add on, fairy lights, and I thought it'd be perfect. Fairy lights across that shelf that's on top of my bed there. So I'm excited to get that because that's going to look really cute. I'll leave that light on all day long now because it's so dark in here. That used to be just my evening light, you know, so that I don't have the blue light in my eyes. Anyone else? It's quiet in here. I thought I'd picked a good time for people coming on. Have you got any questions, Bonnie, Kim, and Barbara, if you're still here, or anyone else? If you're new here, you'll need to click that subscribe button and then wait a minute and then you'll be able to comment and I'll pull you some cards out. So let me know where you're watching from, who you are. If you've got some questions for your reading, let me know. Yeah, and I do hope that you enjoy these new style of readings with my down camera. It's up there. I keep on poking myself in the head with it. Let me show you. Whoop, there it is. There's a rig like right there. And sometimes if I'm like leaning over my desk, I poke myself in the head with it. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the new style of readings with that down camera, me in the corner, and them being broken apart now into 3 readings. Career money. Do I feel like what, Kim? What do I feel like? So we're in really exciting times right now. But it has its challenges because we've got this void, we've got a lot of newness coming in, and it's us that are bringing it in and having to figure it out. I just saw something yesterday where they found evidence that in, was it the Iron Age? I think maybe it was the Iron Age, that we had a matriarchy. Well, that's interesting. Kim, love advice. Love advice for Kim, please. What's going on in Kim's love life? And I'm making a load of shorts now. Have you seen those? Reels with short questions in it. Because I want to do a lot. I love doing the one question readings on my website. I want to do more of them. Okay, you've got 2 piles of cards come out here, Kim. Let's see what they are. Okay, first of all, you've got the 4 of Swords out, which is a card that says, rest up. Don't put so much energy into it. And that's kind of the opposite, is the King of Wands. It's the go-getter. So it's like you're trying to get something. It's trying to go get something, be the chooser. The King of Wands card, when it comes to relationships, is like you're mine. You know, that kind of courageous, confident, you're mine, I'm going to get you kind of an energy. This is very different, and this is your advice, is the 4 of Swords, saying rest up on that. Sometimes if we decide, like with our free will, who it is that we want or what kind of thing it is that we want, the universe is like, no, you can't have it. Tell you what, Kim, for me, I was trying to date last year. I was trying to date, and I say trying because every time I would like start talking to someone and then we would arrange a date, they would end up hurting themselves so we couldn't go on a date. Not in a sabotage kind of a way, but in the universe going, Claire, you cannot with this person. You can't even go on a date with them. There's one guy that came to this island. He was on a neighbouring island, and he came to this island to go on a date with me. And then when he arrived, he sent me this message saying, I can't go out. His eye had got infected and it had all blown up, and he wasn't comfortable in going out. I never even met him in the end. There was one of my friends who's a lot younger than me that I thought, I have got feelings for him because he's a really good friend, you know, and it's confusing sometimes when he had romantic intent with me. I didn't at first, and then I was thinking, why am I pushing this guy away? Anyway, I was opening up to it, thinking, you know, maybe the age thing isn't that a big a deal as I think it is. And so as I was opening up to that, it just happened to be his birthday, and I was arranging to meet him for his birthday to say happy birthday and all of that, and he never showed up. And so I messaged him, and he'd severely damaged his legs so that he couldn't even go out. And so I'm like, okay, universe has stopped me. And so the reason I'm saying that, Kim, is if we're trying to do it with our minds and trying to do it ourselves, the universe stops us. Your wounds this is why. Your wounds are causing you to go for what it is that isn't right for you. So there's some healing that needs to be done here, Kim. The universe is trying to slow you down or trying to block you from your love life at the moment until you've healed that thing within yourself so that you'll be open to what is good for you and what's right for you. Let's see what it is. Kim, let's see what it is. So I've got another deck here which has got, it's called Healing Mantra deck. I think it's called the Healing Mantra deck. And it's a very good deck for sometimes getting to the bottom of what needs healing. There we go. Kim, asking for angelic support. I wasn't expecting that. My angels respond when I'm open and authentic about how I feel. Feelings. Okay. Authentic feelings are the highest vibration. We've been told that joy and love are the highest vibration. They're not. Authentic feelings are the highest vibration. If you're being wronged and you're angry and you're expressing that anger, that is a high vibration. So this is why it's so powerful to be authentic. Now, why aren't we authentic? Looking back at your relationship cards, your wounds are causing you to choose what isn't good for you. Well, our wounds stop us from accepting our true feelings. We might feel like we're wrong in feeling that. This is something I've been uncovering myself personally in the last few days. I had a hypnotherapy session. And it was in a child healing, which I've been focused on a lot lately. And there was this, I went back, I can't remember what she was guiding me to now, but it was a part of me. She wanted me to connect with a part of me that was feeling unsupported, I think. Anyway, straight away I saw little me, 3-year-old me, hiding underneath the table, too scared to tell the people around me that I needed the bathroom. And I asked her, why are you too scared? Or like the therapist asked me while I was in my hypnotic state, why are you too scared to say? Because I'm an inconvenience, because my needs are an inconvenience, as I get yelled at. And so I was pretending. I remember it. I actually remember that moment, being hidden under a table, desperate to go to the bathroom, but I was hiding instead because I felt like I was an inconvenience, that my needs, not even desires, my needs were an inconvenience. And so we went deeper into that, and it was like my feelings as well were negated, always, what's wrong with you, right? That's the affirmation that I got whenever I was feeling something. Not someone holding me there or asking me, what's going on, how I'm feeling. No one holding space for me. It was, what's wrong with you? Like I shouldn't have feelings, And so there I was thinking that my needs weren't important and my feelings weren't important. Now, going back to this card, my angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. Authentic feelings, we need to have them to have healthy relationships, right? We need to be okay about our authentic feelings. And past wounds, your guides here are saying, Kim, are stopping you, similarly as what I had going on as well, have going on, I'm still working on now, just to let it be okay to feel what it is that you're feeling, and hold space for it yourself before anyone else holds space for it for you. That makes sense? Well, I hope that helps you out. We could get even deeper into it if you book yourself a session with me on behealing.com. That's the kind of way I work though, is using all my different decks and energy healing work too, which I won't do on this because it's not so much a viewing pleasure as the cards are. Anyone else want a question answered? Let me know. I've got Wise, you know, TransferWise, it is now called Wise. They want me to confirm my address again. I confirmed it 2 weeks ago before I had to move. I confirmed it, and I got a bank to print me out a statement, but they're asking me to do it again. So does that ring true for you, Kim? Who else is on here? Let me know where you're watching from, who you are, where you're watching from, and if you'd like some cards pulling out. To chat in the chat, you'll need to be a subscriber to my channel for at least a minute, and then you'll be able to chat. Korea. Oh, there's no coffee left. That's disappointing. Bonnie Korea. Bonnie Korea, please. Oh, cool. Thank you so much, Kim. I do love what I'm doing. And I'm so grateful that I've got this gift. I mean, I've had to have this gift because of all of the abuse that I suffered to help myself. But I just, how could I keep this to myself? I can't. I would love to be much busier, but like I'm hidden. Hey Bonnie, have you checked out my new books? I wrote 2 books in the last few weeks, and I've got a third one, but I told my guys I just needed a break. Like, I needed a break before I write the third one. I'll show you guys. It's The Orbital Reborn is the first of the series. And then the second of the series is The Orbital Initiation, Healing the Wounds of Humanity and Gaia. Came to me through a spider, which is why there's a spider's web on there. Check them out, available on Amazon. There's a third one, and it's The Orbital, not Enigma, Riddle. The Orbital Riddle. I don't know what it's about yet. I'm excited to channel that. Bonnie Korea. Bonnie Korea, please. Ooh. Bonnie, you got the High Priestess come out first. Let's get further clarity on that. Feminine traits, intuition. I'm telling you, what if I've been, how can I put this? My crystal man here on the island, last time I was in there looking for this crystal, Lemurian crystal, he gave me some crystals and he said, I've bought a load of this and I want you to have some of it and I want you to tell me about it because I know you'll work with it, you know, and you can tell me about it. I'm just going to grab some of it from my crystal collection. It is this. It's Tektite. Tektite is it's like glass kind of a crystal. I guess they all are, but it's when a meteor hits the planet, melts the ground, and it shoots up, the ground shoots up into outer space, and then as it drips back down, it forms these tektites. And so where it comes down isn't necessarily where it impacted because of the rotation of the earth, but these are the ones that landed in Thailand. Tektite, right, has been up. I don't know whether it goes up as far as the moon or what, I don't know. But I started meditating with this after he asked me and gave me them. And it was really intense, and aliens started coming through. Now, I haven't channeled aliens before, but I started channeling aliens when he gave me this. And with that connection that I've had with the aliens, with this Galactic Council, is what other people are calling them. Of course, they don't have English. But yeah, so we're just like making up names and stuff for them. But the reason I'm saying this is High Priestess, they told me about their technology, living technology, like our bodies, like I talked about before. Our bodies are biological technologies, the most amazing, which they really opened my eyes to how amazing we are. They also have technologies like their craft, which some of them are like in all the time. Some of them, they say they don't live on planets, they live in these crafts. And these crafts are not like cars or aeroplanes that we would make, physical structures, three-dimensional physical structures. They're more biological beings. So like we would perhaps breed a dog to be a specific way, they will create a ship that's a biological entity, technological entity, right? And they become one with it. I mean, their consciousness is interacting with it. Everyone's consciousness that's on there is interacting with it. And so there's no controls and stuff like that, they say. And so if you imagine that you are controlling a ship, a flying vehicle with your mind, then you can imagine that that's just one of the technologies, right? That those of us who have these high priestess abilities, that have been exercising them in our realm, on our planet at the moment, just for this kind of thing, just to get information, just to help ourselves heal, is how we've been using it to help people and to nurture people and to tune into people. We've been using these feminine gifts for that. The feminine gifts will actually have more of a practical application when we have these new technologies, which I believe are coming. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is about direct communication. It's all very ambiguous at the moment, and it came up in my career and money reading too, the ambiguity of it at the moment, because like I said before with Kim, you know, we don't know what these new roles are until we've got those technologies. We don't realize what it's going to be, just how valuable we are with these gifts, until that situation comes about. And I think if we, at the moment, if we are, as the feminine, valuing these high priestess abilities, we're talking meditation, we're talking tuning in, we're talking feeling the energy of the room, we're talking knowing when somebody is in a certain emotional state, all of that kind of stuff that women are great at. Men can do it too, but perhaps haven't practiced it as much as women. We can value it as we are at the moment, because it helps people and we can nurture people and we can help the community and all of that. The guides are saying, oh, so much more, so much more. So it's got something to do with direct communicating as well. I think, Bonnie, I think it's like our time is yet to come. We've been developing skills and our time is yet to come. And it's going to be really good. Hello, Arbiter. Where are you watching from, Arbiter? Yes, you can have a message for your highest good. Arbiter? Arbiter? Am I saying it right? Arpita. A message for Arpita. And yeah, I thought you might be with that name. We've got a chunk of cards falling out, so let's have a look what they are. Similar cards that we've already had. Your wounds causing you to choose something that isn't good for you. So what I mean by that is when we're wounded, we are likely to choose people, places, things that are triggering to those wounds. It's like the opposite of what we should be doing. But it's familiar. It's familiar to the wounded part of ourselves. And when we've healed ourselves, we're like, what was I choosing that for? To give you an example of it, when we don't know who we are and we're unhealed, opposites attract. So we tend to go for someone that's completely opposite to us. Like if we're an introvert, we'll go for an extrovert and all of that, because we haven't healed ourselves, we don't know ourselves yet. And the more you've healed yourself and the more you know yourself, the more you're going to choose someone that is like you. There's a match to you rather than someone that's unlike you. And that's this very concept here. So, what of that? Knight of Wands is a player kind of an energy. It's excitement, yes. It's a bit Knight of Wands is an energy of like diving into something perhaps without thinking about it first. Again, there's this energy that's coming up with you of not to blame you or say that there's something wrong with you or anything, but it's coming from your wounds of going for things in your life that aren't really for you because your wounds are kind of speaking louder than the rest of you. And these could be like personal wounds and it could be societal wounds as well, you know. You've got the Emperor here as well, but it's the female version. And so this is you in the masculine energy. So okay, this is complicated. Your wounds causing you to choose the wrong things that are bad for you. And jumping into things kind of without thinking or without having clarity about it. And you being in the masculine too. So we think that we can override our wounds by compensating for it. That's the compensation thing. By getting into the masculine energy. So we see a lot of women doing this at the moment. It's that independence, like, oh, I'll do it myself. Like I said before, you might not have been here before, but women have done that, you know. Men have said to us, okay, you want equality, well, be a man then. And so we're like, okay, and we did that. But what does it mean to actually be feminine and be a woman and be valued for that instead? Because at the moment we're not. Women are only valued if we become men, if we will be in that masculine side of it. And we've gone along with that. But also, we hide our wounds with that too. We cover up our wounds with that too, so we will step into that energy in order to compensate for our wounds. So you've got some healing to do. I'd love to help you out with that, Arpita. I think we all have. I think we're all waking up to that now. It's just like, wow, just how messed up we all are as a human race. And our societies have been, right? I think we're waking up to it more and more, like, wow, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to heal. Hey, Nancy. Put some tape over it. Yeah, well, you know, my fridge used to be in my room, in my old room, because it was all one, my old room, apart from the bathroom. And that has everything got LEDs on it, hasn't it? And so I got some tape, like, you know, like brown plaster, like Band-Aid kind of things, and put it over the fridge. It's actually kinesiology tape, hacked up. It doesn't need to be dimmed in the kitchen anymore because I've got a separate kitchen now. But good idea, yeah. I can do that. And it just softens it, you know. it's like you can still see it, but with a few layers of that tape, it softens it. So I'll do that because I don't know where the socket is. It must be behind it to switch it off. Reading on guidance about your son and his dad. Ooh. This is what women do. We manage the men and the boys, don't we? Really, women should be leaders because like men don't want us to be the leaders. Well, this has been their story, that because we're too emotional, but we know that that's not true, right? What they're calling emotional is being sensitive, which is a good thing because then we can choose what's best for everybody. Men are actually the most emotional, but they don't call it that because they don't see anger and all of that acting out as being emotional, but they're the emotional ones. Son and your dad. Son and his dad, sorry. So, is it our place to manage the men and the boys? There's some crazy content out there at the moment with men saying what women's role is. What did I hear the other day? It was a grown man saying, so bizarre, that it was his wife or partner's role. He actually put a video, like, why would someone do this? Put a video out there saying that it's his partner's or girlfriend's role to teach him how to wipe his butt. It's definitely not our role to do that, is it? That's just like taking things to ridiculous, isn't it? Of men deflecting what they should be responsible for, the personal hygiene, onto women. Anyway, Nancy, Two of Pentacles here. Two of Pentacles is the balancer. I'm hearing like the peacemaker, the one that negotiates. Yeah, it's you. Stood on one foot, juggling, being that negotiator and the balancer for them, that role. Interesting. And then you got the Sun card out, which is the happiness card. Let me just tap into this a little bit more. The Sun is the inner child being happy. Where have we got the Sun here, please? For Nancy. Loss. Five of Cups. Okay. So what the guides are saying here, Nancy, is that something that you experienced, probably growing up, perhaps when you were around your son's age or whatever your son's going through at the moment, made you unhappy. You're wanting to shield him from that. So a loss that you incurred, you're trying to protect your son from. Yeah, I get that. Like we all do that as parents, don't we? Well, maybe not everybody does, but most of us. Those watching me would do that anyway. So you're trying to protect him from the loss that you experienced. Yeah, and so that you're being the balancer. Okay, I'm just going to pull some cards out for Dad. This is your dynamic. King of Pentacles, so he's like provider. Queen of Wands, you're the one that does everything. So you've got heavy burdens in this relationship. Are you still in the relationship, Nancy? Even if you're not in the relationship, you're still in the relationship, right? You've still got a role to play. Yeah, the Queen of Wands is the one that does everything. The Wands is about action, right? King of Pentacles is just like standing there, been lifted up by wealth and privilege, or you know, whatever they've got going on, feels like that they don't need to do things. Queen of Wands, she's doing it all. She's doing it. She's very capable too, right? She's very capable as well. Okay, so there's a bit of him deferring to you. That's why I told you the story about I don't understand why any man would want to, like, even publicly declare that, never mind make a video about it, but saying that it's women's responsibility to teach him how to wipe his ass. Anyway, back to yours. 2 of Wands, crossroads. 6 of Wands, about success. And the 5 of Pentacles, going it alone. Interesting. Yeah, this is a complicated situation here, because this is saying, like, you've got a choice to make now. Do you continue in this role, which doesn't feel like it's ever going to end? Because from these dynamics of this card on the table, his dad is putting the burden on you. Sure, Sophia, I'll be with you soon. Yeah, Nancy, he's putting the burdens onto you. It's like that dynamic. It's like this is never ending. I wonder, can you trust your son instead to sort it out himself, you know? Because if we will always step in, that's sometimes a control thing on their part. My ex almost got me to do that too. To continue roles for him through the children. I stepped back from it and I said, I'm not willing to do that. And it's like, for the children though. And it's like, it's not for the children though, is it? It's for you. Not willing to do that. It's a tricky situation, but this is saying that, yeah, you know, you're at a crossroads right now. Do you carry on, or 5 of Pentacles? 5 of Pentacles is about, do you do the uncomfortable thing and set off on a path by yourself, using your energy for yourself? You know, perhaps your son can be trusted to sort it out himself. And perhaps rather than being the negotiator, you can take a different path that puts less of the burdens on you. Interesting, Nancy. Sophia. And yeah, for anyone else that wants to go deeper with me, go to my website, behealing.com. I'm doing Zoom calls now, 15 minute, 30 minute, 45 minutes. You can book me and we'll do readings, energy healings, all of that. What Nastro feels towards Sophia? Sophia Cutie Patootie. Oh! Huh. This is interesting. Look at this, the Empress. That's why I said, oh, that's really nice. That's wifey material. The Empress. She feels good about herself. She's got high self-esteem. She knows who she is and all of that. The Hermit, hiding away. So on the unreachable Empress, that's what they feel or think about you, Sophia, the unreachable Empress. And when with the Empress, we've done a lot of work on ourselves. It's the Queen of all queens, right? And so she's learned all the lessons of the queens. And she becomes the Empress. She knows who she is. She knows what she deserves and all of that. And in relationships, especially men, they aren't comfortable with that because generally they haven't done that work. So it's putting you on a pedestal here. Not talking to you. Ignoring each other. Yeah, so unreachable. You see, Hermit. Unreachable. The unreachable Empress. Putting you on a pedestal. Feeling your energy. Putting you on a pedestal like that. And some men will have us want to step off that pedestal and reach down to them and lower ourselves in order to join them, to make them feel better, because we're intimidating when we're like that. But don't ever do that. Don't ever lower yourself because somebody is uncomfortable. No, interesting. See how it plays out. But yeah, you're unreachable Empress at the moment. Let's see if I've got anything else. He might be making a move, you know. He might be making a move because the Knight of Wands is shooting your shot and the Fool is like taking a risk on it, taking a risk and starting something off. So yeah, it just feels like if he can get over that discomfort that he feels, he will be shooting his shot. Interesting. You've got to let us know how that goes. Is anyone else here that wants some readings? So on my website, behealing.com, that's behealing.com. I've got like 1 question readings. You can book them at any time. I do them like as soon as I see them as well, because they're just like in an email. I'll just answer your question in an email. I've got my longer sessions as well, and I do one-on-one like Zoom call, 15-minute, 30-minute or 45-minute as well. Thank you, Sophia. You're very welcome, Kim. Yeah, so if ever you need guidance, book yourself in on behealing.com. Here on my channel as well, putting out a lot of reels at the moment, and the weekly readings too. General reading, love and romance reading, just about the energies that are about for the collective at the moment, and career and money reading as well. So check those out too. There's a weekly podcast as well on this channel, and a weekly meditation, guided meditation as well, which I'm loving creating those. So check all of that content, all to help you heal, and everything that's on my website too. Blog on there, years and years worth of blogs on there. Okay, so I might get a card out, a closing card out, and I'm told not that deck, this deck. What else do you want to say, guides, for all of us, please? Oh, we've been on for an hour. What would you like to say to all of us? No. The heart. So moving away from the mind and into the heart, into our feelings. Yeah. We've been living in a very logical world, right? Masculine, logical mind. It's all about the mind. We need to move into our heart, so much more about our feelings and our heart. Anything else? Anything else? Shaman. Healing, but the shaman is about change. It's about us morphing into something else. We're going through major upgrades at the moment. Major shifting times, says the shaman. Stepping into our heart, being more in our feelings rather than our minds will help us out. So rather than figuring things out, feeling things out instead. It's the guidance for everybody. So thank you everybody for joining me. Sorry to everyone that missed me. I know I always get messages like within the first couple of hours after I do one of these lives going, oh no, I missed you. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Let's do this again sometime. See you next time.